Think about the last time you walked into a grocery store just to grab a gallon of milk, but somehow ended up walking out with 15 items you never intended to buy. This phenomenon is not an accident, and it revolves around a device we all take for granted. This single object is the reason you spend more than you planned, and when it was first invented, men actually refused to use it because they thought it made them look weak. The shopping cart seems completely innocent. It is just a simple frame with wheels and metal, right? That is what they want you to believe. In reality, it is one of the most profitable psychological tools ever created. Today, we are going to explore exactly how a simple cart manipulates your brain into spending 20 to 30% more every single trip, and how you can fight back against these hidden triggers. Let us go back to the year 1936 in Oklahoma City. A man named Sylvan Goldman owned a grocery chain, and he noticed a frustrating pattern. Customers would stop shopping the moment their handheld baskets became too heavy. They would literally walk to the checkout with half of what they wanted because their arms simply gave out. Goldman wondered, what if people could push their groceries instead of carrying them? He invented the first shopping cart, which was essentially 2 wire baskets on a folding metal frame with wheels. It was revolutionary. Yet, when he unveiled it, nobody used it. Men thought it looked like a baby stroller and refused to touch it. Women, who already spent all day pushing real strollers, did not want another one. Elderly customers did not trust the wheels. Goldman's invention was a total flop, but here is where it gets genius. He did not give up. He hired actors of all ages to walk around his store, pushing the carts and pretending to shop. He stationed greeters at the entrance to offer carts, pointing out that everyone else was using them. Within 3 weeks, cart usage went from nearly 0 to over 90%. Sales immediately jumped. Goldman had accidentally discovered a way to hack human psychology, and retail has never been the same since. So, why exactly does a cart make you spend more? We can look at 3 major psychological principles. The first is called unit bias. Your brain treats containers as units. Watt-hours, whether it is a pizza box, a dinner plate, or a shopping cart. You unconsciously feel a need to fill the space. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania discovered that if you give people a bigger plate, they serve themselves 30% more food. The same applies to your cart. An empty cart represents an unfinished task to your brain. The second principle is the goal gradient effect. This comes from psychologist Clark Hall, who noted that the closer we are to completing a goal, the harder we work at it. Think of a progress bar in a video game. You push much harder when you are at 80% than when you are at 20%. Studies show that once your cart is more than 2/3 full, you actively look for items to complete the load. It is an instinctual drive to finish what you started. Third, we have the sunk cost fallacy. The moment you grab a cart, you have made a micro-commitment. You have invested effort, even if it is just walking to the cart corral. Your brain now wants to justify that effort by actually using the cart, which means buying more than you came for. Retailers are well aware of this, which is why cart sizes have been growing for decades. Standard carts in the 1970s held about 100 liters. Today, they often hold 180 to 200 liters. Some wholesale clubs even use carts that hit 240 liters. This growth is entirely intentional. There are even deeper levels to this manipulation. Have you ever noticed how carts are positioned exactly at the entrance? Sometimes they are even angled, so you have to move one just to walk past. Once it is in your hand, the psychology kicks in. Even the mechanical condition might be a factor. Watt-hour style, it is hard to prove it is a deliberate policy. Some research suggests that a cart that is slightly difficult to push forces you to slow down. The slower you move, the more products you see, and the more you see, the more you buy. Studies show that shoppers with perfectly smooth, fast carts actually spend 12% less time in the aisles. Even the layout of the store is designed around the cart. Most people are right-handed, so stores are often built in a counterclockwise flow. This encourages you to veer right,
leading you past high-margin sections like produce and the bakery. Wide aisles are designed so two carts can pass comfortably, because a lack of stress leads to longer browsing times. Even the handles matter. Modern carts have ergonomic grips and cup holders because if you are comfortable, you will shop longer. In fact, one study found that carts with cup holders increased average shopping time by 8 minutes. 8 extra minutes of scanning shelves translates to pure profit for the store. So, how do we beat the system? You can outsmart these psychological triggers with a few simple strategies. First, always make a list. People with written lists spend 23% less than those who wing it. Your list acts as a psychological anchor, giving your brain a concrete goal rather than an open-ended mission to fill space. Second, if you are buying fewer than 10 items, force yourself to use a handheld basket. The physical weight of the items limits impulse buys because your arms will literally get tired. Third, try parking your cart. What hours when you are browsing a specific section? Leave your cart at the end of the aisle and walk to the items. This breaks the autopilot of filling the cart and forces you to consciously decide if you really need an item before walking it back to the cart. Fourth, shop the perimeter. Fresh food is almost always on the outer edges, while the middle aisles contain the processed items with higher markups. Finally, track your spending as you go. Use your phone calculator to add up prices. This activates your rational brain and has been shown to reduce impulse buys by 34%. The question is, does this still work in the modern era of online shopping? Retailers are simply adapting. What hours? Oh, you might skip the physical cart for a click and collect order. Stores are now testing smart carts with built-in tablets. These devices track what you buy, suggest recipes, and offer instant coupons. It is the same psychology, just digitized. Even online, the virtual cart icon serves as a reminder of unlimited space that your brain still wants to fill. The tactics evolve, but our psychology remains the same. Next time you are at the store, pay attention to how that cart feels and where it is leading you. Notice the empty space staring back at you. That cart is not just helping you carry groceries, it is helping the store carry your money to the register.